Hi, this is Video Nurse on Ustream.tv answering questions about relationships, and I have a question from the chat. Why does love hurt sometimes? She broke up with me to go out with someone online. No worries about asking that again. I did ask people to go ahead and repost their questions. So thanks for the question. Why does love hurt? I mean, what is that that's being tapped there? In general, uh, first you want to ask yourself, how are you hurting? And that might actually then trace you back to why it hurts. If you're hurting because of your ego, like the idea that she broke up with you, it's just you're being rejected. You're being selected over, I mean, you're not being selected, and she's selecting someone else, which can feel very personal, like, what's wrong with me? So I would imagine that that's at least a part of what's hurting, is that she rejected you. Also, if she, broke up with you and she went out with somebody else online, I don't know the backstory behind that, whether she did that first and then told you, or if she had been doing this for some time, or if that's even how you met her, is that she was with somebody else and then met you online. So there's backstory and questions you might want to be asking yourself about the nature of the relationship and why it hurts, is that maybe you're familiar with this. It's happened before in some way. Love hurts because obviously we wanted something out of it. And when we don't get what we want, there can be this big thing I call the big empty of like, well, I'm hurting because I didn't get what I want. My needs aren't being met. And that hurt can feel as painful as hunger, a physical hunger can feel, because there's something you wanted and it didn't get met. I'm going to guess that your next question out of that is, how do I stop hurting this way? The obvious part of the answer that I feel I need to give as a public service is, don't go after her and try to make her love you. She did what she did. There was a reason for it, and whether you like the reason or not, she's her own person. She took her own actions. Don't go punish her, and don't go take revenge. But focus on yourself. Again, going back to the question, what do you want? You want a steady relationship with someone, you want a meaningful relationship with someone. You start looking within and asking, what does that look like to you? How could you imagine that being in your life? And then start looking in your life and saying, am I making room for that? Am I looking actively for that, or am I sort of wasting my time with people that don't want the same thing as me? So you're going to start changing the crowd that you hang with, or the people that you're looking at. You're going to start going to where it is that what it is you're looking for, and stop wasting your time with things that are people that aren't looking for the same thing as you. So you're just basically increasing your chances of finding someone who isn't going to put that same love hurt in your life, at least not in that way. Love hurts, again, because we have needs that go unmet. The other thing I like to encourage people to do, and this is just in general, is identify which parts of that need you can actually meet yourself. There is really something, as cheesy as this sounds, to having a love relationship with yourself. Do you like who you are? Are you comfortable in your own skin? These are going to be things that will take you some time to really answer and develop, and depending on your age, we're really looking at years of developing into this self-actualized, happy person who really likes being who he is. And in the meantime, though, as you're developing that, you're inviting other people to take a look. Just assume, and it's not personal, that some people are going to like what they see and some people don't. And it will hurt as much if you don't take that personally, in the sense, like, I wake up in the morning and just figure that there's some people who really can't stand me. And then there's some people who really adore me, and that's okay. I don't have to make the people who can't stand me like me. I don't have to make them love me either. Everybody has their own choice. But what doesn't shift unless I let it is what I think about myself. that actually, statistics show and research shows, our self-esteem, our sense of ourselves, actually improves over time. And the older you get, the more you like yourself in general. Unless you're doing a lot of things to screw up in life, and you're just discovering that part, it can be a little bit rocky. But in general, we pretty much, as we grow up, like ourselves more. So take heart about that part. It's not going to hurt as much over time when you develop this relationship with yourself so you're rock solid. Somebody else can come along and like you for a while, maybe even love you for a while, and then not. And you're still going to be okay. You're not going to die. It's still going to hurt, but you're going to take it to a different place because you're not going to let that person and how they feel about you change how you feel about you. And that's the bigger part about recovering from, a relationship that didn't go the way you wanted it to. Video Nurse has spoken. I hope you like that answer, and I hope it helps. Thanks.